All right, so Toronto are up 2-1 against Montreal in this second period. Yeah, I ended up missing the first period because the Boston Ottawa game ended up going into overtime and the penalty shootout, and I couldn't miss that. But yeah, so this second period between Toronto and Montreal is something. I don't even know where to begin. So Toronto in the first period they went up by one, so the score line was 1-0. But eventually Montreal they would come back in the second period, and Montreal, to their credit, they're doing really well. They're on the attack, good build-up play. They are getting behind Toronto's defense. They're getting behind them. They're finding those openings. Yeah, they're getting behind their defense really well, creating a lot of really good chances. We're seeing a lot of attempts on goal, but they're struggling to get past Chuli. Chuli, she's having some really good saves, or she had some good saves. And yeah, they had a lot of chances to score, but they were able to get that one goal. Unfortunately for Montreal, Toronto would get their second goal. And, it seemed like Montreal, to me, it seemed like they might have been the better team because they were putting a lot of pressure on on Toronto's goalkeeper. They were creating a lot of those chances, but I feel like they could have had more goals in the second period if they just put them away. So now Toronto are up 2-1. But then things started to get hectic towards the end. Because I guess Flattery, I don't know what happened. Toronto, I know they made an attempt on goal after they got their second. But then Flattery for Montreal, I guess she started throwing hands with a Toronto player. Like those two were actually going at it. Um, I don't think I've actually seen teams like actually throwing fists so far in this season. I think this was like the first time for this season. But yeah, those two got sent to the box of sin, and it was 4v4. And then there was a penalty, and it went to 4v3. And Montreal they still couldn't come back. But going into the third period, that could change. We're seeing a lot of good things with Montreal's attack. They just need to connect more. They are connecting in the attack. They did so pretty well in the second period, but in the third period, we need to see more of that, and hopefully they can finish their chances and get more goals.